Welcome to Huberman Lab Essentials, where we distill the most potent, science-backed strategies to elevate your mental health, physical vitality, and overall performance. I'm Andrew Huberman, a professor of neurobiology and ophthalmology at Stanford School of Medicine. This content is independent of my academic roles at Stanford, designed to empower you with actionable tools grounded in rigorous scientific research. Before we dive in, a quick note. If you're watching this on YouTube, you might notice a bandage on my face. It's from a minor cooking mishap while preparing a meal for my dog, Costello. I got a burn, but I'm fine, and Costello enjoyed a fantastic meal. Let's move forward without dwelling on it. Today's focus is hormone optimization, with a spotlight on estrogen and testosterone, the sex steroid hormones that play pivotal roles in everyone's body, regardless of sex. These hormones influence mood, energy, libido, muscle growth, bone health, and cognitive function. By understanding how to modulate them through specific behaviors, such as exercise, breathing patterns, light exposure, temperature exposure, and supplementation, you can unlock transformative benefits. This guide will provide a comprehensive, mechanistic understanding of these hormones and practical protocols to optimize them, tailored to both men and women. The science of sex steroid hormones, estrogen and testosterone. What are sex steroid hormones? Estrogen and testosterone are sex steroid hormones, a class of molecules derived from cholesterol that regulate a wide array of physiological processes. Despite their association with female estrogen and male testosterone biology, both hormones are present in everyone. Their ratios determine their effects, influencing everything from reproductive health to mental clarity and physical strength. Estrogen, primarily associated with female reproductive functions, estrogen, especially estradiol. Its most active form supports ovulation, bone density, mood regulation, and skin health. It also plays a role in male libido and brain function. Testosterone, known for driving male characteristics like muscle mass and aggression, testosterone also enhances female libido, energy, and bone health. It promotes novelty seeking, reduces anxiety, and supports competitive behaviors. Where do these hormones come from? To optimize estrogen and testosterone, we need to understand their sources. Ovaries estrogen. In females, the ovaries are the primary producers of estradiol. Prepubescent girls have low estrogen levels, which surge during puberty to drive sexual maturation. Estrogen fluctuates across the menstrual cycle, peaking during ovulation days 12-14 in a 28-day cycle, and dropping during menstruation. Menopause, typically occurring between ages 45 and 60. Menopause marks a significant decline in ovarian estrogen production, leading to symptoms like hot flashes, mood swings, and bone loss. Testes testosterone. In males, the testes produce testosterone, with levels low before puberty, surging during adolescence, and declining by about 1% per year after age 30. This gradual decline can affect energy, muscle mass, and libido. Adrenal glands. Both sexes produce testosterone and related androgens, e.g., dehydroepiandrosterone, or DHE, in the adrenal glands located above the kidneys. Adrenal testosterone release is particularly responsive to competitive scenarios, which we'll explore later. Aromatase enzyme conversion. The enzyme aromatase converts testosterone into estrogen, maintaining a balance between the two. In males with high testosterone, some is converted to estrogen, which is critical for libido and brain health. In females, aromatase ensures testosterone levels remain lower than estrogen. Hormonal dynamics across the lifespan. Hormone levels fluctuate naturally. Pre-puberty, low levels of both hormones in children. Puberty, estrogen surges in females, testosterone in males, driving secondary sexual characteristics, e.g., breast development, facial hair. Adulthood, estrogen cycles monthly in females, while testosterone declines gradually in males. Menopause females, estrogen drops, causing physiological and psychological changes. Aging males, testosterone decline can lead to reduced vitality, though lifestyle interventions can mitigate this. Why optimize hormones? Optimizing estrogen and testosterone offers profound benefits: mental health, enhanced mood, reduced anxiety, and improved cognitive clarity; physical health, stronger muscles, denser bones, and better cardiovascular function; performance, increased motivation, competitive drive, and resilience; reproductive health, improved libido, fertility, and sexual satisfaction. Let's explore the behavioral and supplemental tools to achieve these outcomes. Behavioral tools for hormone optimization. 1. Harnessing competition to boost testosterone. The biology of competition is a potent trigger for testosterone release, especially in males. In many mammalian species, testosterone levels determine which individuals reproduce, as higher levels correlate with behaviors that secure mating opportunities. Amygdala and stress regulation. The amygdala, a brain region known for threat detection, is modulated by testosterone. Testosterone binds to amygdala receptors, lowering the threshold for stress and making effort feel rewarding. This explains why testosterone drives novelty, seeking, reduced anxiety, and competitive behaviors like foraging or fighting for mates. Dopamine's role. Winning a competition triggers dopamine release, a neuromodulator that signals the pituitary gland to release luteinizing hormone LH, which stimulates testosterone production in the testes or ovaries. Notably, competing itself, win or lose, acutely increases adrenal testosterone, making competition a powerful tool. Practical applications: engage in short-term competition, participate in activities like sports, debates, or strategy games for 10-30 minutes, 2-3 times per week. These scenarios stimulate adrenal testosterone release, enhancing motivation and reducing anxiety. Mindset shift. View competition as a tool for growth, not stress. Focus on the process, e.g., effort, strategy, rather than the outcome to maximize hormonal benefits. For females, while competition less directly affects estrogen, it can boost confidence and receptivity, indirectly supporting reproductive behaviors. Examples: play a quick chess match or board game with friends. Join a recreational sports league, e.g., soccer, basketball. Engage in workplace challenges, e.g., pitching ideas in a meeting. 2. Optimizing breathing and sleep. The problem: sleep apnea and hormone disruption. Sleep apnea, pauses in breathing during sleep, disrupts hormone production by reducing deep sleep, which is critical for gonad function, ovaries, and testes. Apnea is common in overweight individuals or those with narrow airways, leading to elevated cortisol. The stress hormone cortisol competes with testosterone and estrogen for cholesterol, a precursor molecule, reducing sex steroid synthesis. Symptoms: low testosterone or estrogen, reduced fertility, fatigue, and poor recovery. The solution: nasal breathing patterns during waking hours and sleep profoundly influence hormone optimization. Nasal breathing outperforms mouth breathing for several reasons. Enhanced oxygenation. Nasal breathing increases oxygen delivery to tissues and offloads carbon dioxide, supporting gonad health. Reduced apnea. Nasal breathing dilates the sinuses, reducing airway obstruction during sleep. Lower cortisol. Nasal breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reducing cortisol and freeing cholesterol for hormone production. Practical protocols: become a nasal breather. During exercise, practice nasal breathing during cardiovascular activities, e.g., jogging, cycling, unless at maximum effort. Start with 5-10 minutes and gradually increase. Over weeks, your sinuses will adapt, making nasal breathing easier. Daily life: breathe through your nose during work, conversations, or relaxation. If you're a chronic mouth breather, consider mouth taping at night using medical grade tape after consulting a doctor. Benefits: improved sleep quality, reduced apnea, and enhanced hormone production. Address severe apnea. Use a continuous positive airway pressure CPAP machine if diagnosed with severe sleep apnea. This device ensures consistent airflow, improving sleep and hormone levels. Monitor sleep quality. Aim for 7-9 hours of sleep, prioritizing slow wave sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Use a sleep tracker to assess sleep architecture and identify disruptions. Additional benefits: cosmetic effects. Nasal breathing can improve facial structure by promoting proper jaw alignment, reducing the long face appearance associated with mouth breathing. Lung capacity. Nasal breathing increases lung efficiency, supporting endurance and recovery. Fertility. Deep sleep supports ovarian and testicular cell turnover, enhancing estrogen and testosterone production. 3. Leveraging light exposure. The science of light and hormones. Light exposure regulates the circadian rhythm, which governs dopamine, cortisol, and sex steroid hormones. Dopamine stimulates the hypothalamic pituitary axis, releasing gonadotropin, releasing hormone GnRH, luteinizing hormone LH, and follicle stimulating hormone FSH, which drive estrogen and testosterone production. Morning light. Bright light exposure within the first hour of waking sets the circadian clock, timing cortisol release early and boosting dopamine. This cascade enhances hormone synthesis. Nighttime light. Bright light from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. suppresses dopamine, disrupts sleep, and reduces testosterone and estrogen. Practical protocols: morning light exposure. Get 2-10 minutes of bright light within 1 hour of waking. Sunlight. Stand outside or near a window facing the sun. Avoid sunglasses unless required for safety, but wear prescription lenses if needed. Artificial light. Use a 10-0-0-0 Lux Light therapy box during cloudy days or early mornings. Benefits: increases dopamine, optimizes cortisol timing, and supports hormone production. Avoid nighttime light. Minimize bright light exposure from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Use dim, warm lighting e.g. red or amber bulbs, and avoid screens or wear blue light blocking glasses. Benefits: preserves dopamine, improves sleep, and maintains hormone balance. Seasonal adjustments. In winter, when daylight is limited, prioritize artificial light therapy to mimic summer conditions, as day length influences hormone levels. Safety notes: avoid staring directly at the sun or overly bright lights to prevent retinal damage. Consult an eye care professional if you have pre-existing eye conditions. 4. Temperature exposure. Heat and cold. The science of temperature and hormones. Temperature exposure, particularly cold exposure, may modulate sex steroid hormones by influencing blood flow to the gonads. Cold exposure. Cold causes vasoconstriction, narrowing of blood vessels, followed by rebound vasodilation upon rewarming. This increased blood flow may enhance gonad function, indirectly boosting testosterone and estrogen. Heat exposure. Saunas or heat therapy promote vasodilation, potentially supporting circulation, but with less direct hormonal impact. Practical protocols: cold exposure, cold showers. Take 1-3 minute cold showers as cold as tolerable 2-3 times per week, focusing on the lower body to target the gonads. Ice baths. Immerse in an ice bath 50-55 degrees F for 5-10 minutes, 1-2 times per week. Ensure safety, e.g., supervision, gradual adaptation. Timing: perform in the morning or post. Workout to align with circadian rhythms and avoid sleep disruption. Benefits: potential testosterone and estrogen increases via improved gonad perfusion. Heat exposure. Saunas. Use a sauna 160-200 degrees F for 10-20 minutes, 2-3 times per week, followed by cooling to enhance vasodilation. Caution: avoid prolonged heat exposure to the testes, as it can impair sperm production. Benefits: supports circulation and recovery, indirectly aiding hormone production. Evidence and limitations: while anecdotal reports and small studies suggest cold exposure boosts testosterone, the evidence is preliminary. Effects are likely indirect, mediated by blood flow and neural activation. Consult a healthcare provider before starting extreme temperature protocols, especially if you have cardiovascular conditions. 5. Exercise, the cornerstone of hormone optimization. The science of exercise and hormones. Exercise profoundly influences sex steroid hormones, with different modalities producing distinct effects. Heavy weight training mechanism, lifting heavy weights 1-8 reps, 70-90% of 1 rep max stimulate testosterone release via neural activation and demand on androgen sensitive tissues, e.g., muscles. Duration, effects last 24-48 hours post-workout. Key finding, training to completion but not failure maximizes testosterone. Overtraining elevates cortisol, suppressing hormones. High-intensity interval training HIIT mechanism, short, intense efforts, e.g., sprints mimic weight training's neural demands, increasing testosterone. Duration, 10-20 minutes with effects lasting hours to days. Endurance exercise, short. Duration, moderate cardio 30-75 minutes supports overall health without significant hormone disruption. Long, duration 75 minutes. Prolonged endurance exercise elevates cortisol, reducing testosterone and estrogen by diverting cholesterol. Exercise order, performing weight training before cardio in the same session preserves testosterone, as cardio first depletes glycogen and increases cortisol. On separate days, order doesn't significantly impact hormones. Practical protocols. Weight training protocol, 3-5 sets of 1-8 reps at 70-90% of 1 rep max, focusing on compound lifts, e.g., squats, deadlifts, bench press. Rest 2-3 minutes between sets. Frequency, 2-4 times per week, with 48 hours recovery between sessions for the same muscle groups. For females, heavy lifting boosts testosterone and estrogen, supporting bone density and muscle health, especially during menopause. HIIT protocol, 6-8 rounds of 20-30 seconds all-out effort, e.g., sprints, cycling with 60-90 seconds rest. Total duration, 10-20 minutes. Frequency, 1-3 times per week, post-weight training or on separate days. Endurance exercise protocol, limit to 30-75 minutes of moderate intensity activities, e.g., jogging, swimming, timing. Perform after weight training or on separate days to preserve testosterone. Menopause considerations for menopausal women. Exercise mitigates symptoms and maintains hormone balance. Resistance training counteracts muscle and bone loss. HIIT improves cardiovascular health and mood, reducing hot flashes. Flexibility, yoga or stretching reduces joint stiffness. Supplementation, enhancing hormone production. The science of supplements. Supplements can support hormone production, but their effects are subtle compared to lifestyle changes or prescription drugs. Always consult a healthcare provider and monitor blood work before starting. Key supplements. Vitamin D role supports endocrine function, including testosterone and estrogen synthesis. Dosage 2-0-5-0-0 IU daily, adjusted based on blood levels. Aim for 30-50 ng/ml. Source: sunlight, fortified foods or supplements. Zinc role essential for testosterone synthesis and sperm production. Dosage 15-30 mg daily with meals to avoid nausea. Source: oysters, red meat, or supplements. Magnesium role reduces cortisol and improves sleep, supporting testosterone. Dosage 200-400 mg daily, e.g., magnesium citrate or glycinate. Source: leafy greens, nuts, or supplements. Tonkat Ali Uricoma longifolia role increases free testosterone, supports fertility, and has mild aphrodisiac effects, slightly antiestrogenic. Dosage 400-800 mg daily, taken in the morning to avoid insomnia. Evidence studies on PubMed and Examine. COM show modest testosterone increases. Caution, monitor for restlessness or insomnia. Fatoja agrestes role increases luteinizing hormone LH, stimulating testosterone and estrogen. Dosage 300-6. 100 mg daily, but evidence is limited. Evidence, preliminary studies suggest LH increases, but side effects are unclear. Caution, requires blood work to monitor safety. Supplements and drugs to avoid opioids. Chronic use disrupts gonadotropin, releasing hormone GnRH neurons, reducing testosterone and estrogen. This can cause gynecomastia in males or ovarian dysfunction in females. Excessive antiestrogens. Drugs like tamoxifen or anastrozole used in breast cancer treatment block estrogen receptors or aromatase, potentially disrupting libido and hormone balance in males. Hormone replacement therapy, HRT estrogen therapy, menopause, forms, oral pills, patches, or pellets delivering estradiol. Benefits, alleviates menopausal symptoms, hot flashes, mood swings, brain fog. Risks, increased risk of estrogen-dependent cancers, e.g., breast cancer, requires monitoring. Human chorionic gonadotropin HCG role mimics LH, stimulating testosterone and sperm production in males, or ovulation and estrogen in females. Use, prescription drug for fertility or hormone optimization. History, originally derived from pregnant women's urine, now synthetic. Caution, requires medical supervision to avoid overstimulation. Risks of hormone modulation, cancer risk. Rapidly dividing tissues, e.g., breast, prostate, testes, ovaries are prone to cancers, many of which are androgen or estrogen sensitive. Hormone supplementation can exacerbate these risks. Negative feedback. Excessive testosterone or estrogen suppresses LH and FSH, halting natural hormone production. Monitoring, regular blood work, testosterone, estradiol, DHT, LH, FSH, cortisol is essential. Special considerations: menopause and illness. Menopause, marked by a drop in estrogen, causes symptoms like hot flashes, mood swings, brain fog, bone loss. Strategies: hormone therapy. Estrogen supplementation can alleviate symptoms but carries risks. Exercise, resistance training, and HIIT support bone health and mood. Nutrition, adequate calcium, vitamin D, and protein counteract bone and muscle loss. Sleep and breathing, nasal breathing and proper sleep reduce cortisol, supporting residual estrogen. Illness and inflammation. Illness suppresses hormones via inflammatory cytokines like IL-6, which reduce libido and reproductive behavior, interfere with hormone receptors, increase cortisol, diverting cholesterol. Strategies: manage inflammation, consume omega-3s, turmeric, and avoid processed sugars. Rest, prioritize sleep and low-intensity movement during illness. Avoid opioids, use alternative pain management to preserve hormones. A comprehensive hormone optimization protocol. Here's a daily protocol to optimize estrogen and testosterone. Morning, light exposure, 2-10 minutes of sunlight or artificial light within 1 hour of waking. Nasal breathing, practice during morning routines or exercise. Supplements: vitamin D2 000-5000 U, zinc 15-30 mg, magnesium 200-400 mg. Consider Tonkat Ali 400-800 mg or Fatoja agrestes 300-600 mg with medical guidance. Exercise, weight training, 45-60 minutes, 2-4 times per week, 3-5 sets, 1-8 reps. HIIT, 10-20 minutes, 1-3 times per week, post, weight training. Cardio, 30-60 minutes after lifting or on separate days. Temperature exposure, cold shower, 1-3 minutes, 2-3 times per week. Sauna, 10-20 minutes, 2-3 times per week, followed by cooling throughout the day. Nasal breathing, maintain during work and exercise except max effort. Competition, engage in short competitive activities 2-3 times per week. Evening, avoid bright light. Use dim, warm lighting from 10 p.m. Sleep 7-9 hours in a cool, dark room. Use C app if needed. Weekly monitoring, blood work. Every 3-6 months, measure testosterone, estradiol, LH, FSH, cortisol. Cycle tracking females. Monitor menstrual cycles for irregularities.